Well, summer lovin' can be a blast. It can also dissolve very fast, as we've seen this summer with a number of celebrities.
All right, here to tell us more about what went wrong with these A-list relationships and what we can learn from them is relationship expert Jessica O'Reilly. Jess, great to see you. It's been a little while since we've seen you here in studio.
It's so good to be back. It feels good, like family.
Yeah.
Always.
All right, we are going to start a lot of celebrity. I don't know why my watch is talking to me right now.
Feels like family.
Yeah, exactly. We've had a lot of celebrity relationship drama already this summer. We're going to start with actress Keke Palmer and her boyfriend Darius Jackson. Darius spoke out about what Keke wore to an Usher concert recently, saying that she's a mom and that the outfit may not be appropriate. Jess, your thoughts on how this was all handled?
Oh dear. So I think playing out relationship drama online is probably not a good place to start, right? Like, I think we all agree with that. And I know we're talking about celebrities and people will say like, well, who cares? They're not a part of my life. But relationships are reflected in all the people around us. And I think we've all seen people in our lives who do the same thing. They make those passive-aggressive comments on Facebook. And I mean, his wasn't passive-aggressive, it was pretty to the point. Super judgmental. Of course, there's been great criticism of him. I don't know if you saw the update. I was looking this morning, and he did speak out about it. He said, you know, I'm the man of the family. I care how my family is represented in public, including the mother of my children. And I read that they're no longer following each other on Instagram. So I don't know if they set a boundary that they don't want to follow one another, or maybe they've split over this. I'm definitely not a celebrity gossip anything, so I don't want to say that that's the case, but the fact that they're not following one another really speaks volumes about the fact that this is really serious stuff and that it can really cause problems in relationships when you go and kind of attack each other or criticize one another on social platforms.
Well, and there's a way to handle this, and I mean, when you're in a relationship, and yes, I mean, I have this conversation with my teenager. I mean, in the sense of like, how do you want to carry yourself? How do you want to be portrayed? You also represent the like, we do have these conversations, and couples do as well. And it's a tough one though, because I mean, as a mom, I mean, Britney Spears has also been, she's gotten a lot of criticism of the way she carries herself. That I think her ex, Kevin Federline, has said, you're a mom, like, why are you behaving like that? It's just a tough one when you wear many hats and a night out with the girls. I'm not a mom tonight. Right. I want to go out and have some fun. Right. And maybe I don't want to dress like a mom tonight.
Right. And how does a mom dress? Moms dress many different ways across culture. There are cultures where people don't wear clothing, perhaps, don't even wear tops, right? Like, I think we get very centric, Western-centric, Eurocentric in our views here. And I think that it's super problematic. I want to just say, so I come from a teaching background. I was a high school teacher. And so the way I got in this field was that I was teaching sex ed and relationship ed and training the teachers. And one of the red flags that we bring up for young people in dating is if your partner is trying to control things about you, trying to change the way you dress, trying to limit the way you express yourself. And yes, absolutely, I understand that people judge us based on the way we are dressed, but I wish people would start judging more on behavior. Listen, we know we're in the public eye. If my skirt's 1 inch too high, somebody's going to complain about it. But we're here to have a conversation. We're here to be human beings. We're here to create emotional, meaningful connection. Hopefully, you know, our job is to convey some information that's useful to people. So I think we need to kind of back off on the way we're dressed and look more at, you know, the content of character and behavior.
All right. Well, another celebrity relationship that has been trending over the past couple of weeks is Jonah Hill and his ex, Sarah Brady, who shared old text messages that allegedly appear to show Jonah, Jess, making certain demands of her when they were together, such as who she should and should not hang out with. And, you know, we often talk about how it's important to express to your partner what you may be uncomfortable with at times. But is this that, or is there something else at play here?
Well, so there is some weaponization, I think, of pseudo-therapeutic or therapeutic language here, right? He's saying these are my boundaries, but I want to be really clear that boundaries are actually about yourself, and then demands or even requests, if we want to, you know, include the gray area, are of other people. So if he is uncomfortable with something, if he doesn't want to date someone who is a model and that's the way she makes money, if he doesn't want to date someone who also teaches men to surf because it's half the population and more than half of the surfing population, he should probably set that boundary for himself that he's not going to date her. But instead he's saying, this is who you are. This is exactly who you are when I met you, when I slid into your DMs based on the photos I no longer want you to post, and I'd like you to change. So I think we have to differentiate between demands and boundaries. Boundaries are about you. It's about what you draw around yourself and how you're going to change your behavior. and he's flipping that language, I think in a way that can be very problematic.
Excellent point with regarding boundaries. Okay, another celebrity couple that has been all over our feed since the beginning is Kevin Costner and his wife and their split. It's gotten very ugly in the headlines, but let's be honest. Divorce isn't a very good time for anyone. It can get messy. It can get ugly. What is your advice? I'm sure you've helped and talked to a number of couples going through that. What is your best advice for people who are in the middle of a divorce right now?
Okay, so I want to just take it back and be the firefighter and say prevention is so important. So if you can actually have some sort of a premarital agreement, a marriage agreement, depending on where you are in the country, or even speak to a divorce lawyer before you get married. And I know that seems really, really controversial, but the idea is to understand we are at our best right now. Let's talk about what we want should a situation arise where we're perhaps at our worst. And that's the thing. We don't act like ourselves when we're heartbroken. We lash out in ways that are really atypical, that are really out of character. So if you can have these conversations beforehand, all the better. And do remember, you cared about this person. You probably still care about them. Probably in 5 or 10 years, you're going to feel love toward them, maybe even sooner. So how can you do this in a way that you'll be proud of the way you acted when you look back.
Think about the long road, the long term here, right? Yes, absolutely.
However you feel about Gwyneth Paltrow and Chris Martin, I got to say that they seem to have done their divorce right.
Yeah,
they're friends, the whole family hangs out. Can
I say that there are a ton of couples like that? I cannot tell you how many couples I know where they divorce and even like the parents will live next to each other so that it's easier for the kids. Families where everyone gets together for the holidays. So it is doable. Of course, those ones don't make the headlines.
That is very true.
We want the salacious.
Some teachable moments for us all. Jess O'Reilly, good to see you. Have a great weekend.
Likewise. Same to you.